My name is Deb Enright, and this is Money Matters. Thank you for joining us. Today we get to talk about our second annual Fine Arts Festival that was the brainchild of Melissa Dufrechou, our Fine Arts Curriculum Specialist. I have her helping me start off the show. But first I want to tell you that at the end of March at the factory, we're going to have thousands of kids singing, playing instruments, showing you their art, doing some theater, and I think we have a couple new things up our sleeve this year as well. Melissa's going to tell us about that. And then we're going to have one of our favorite corporate sponsors here to talk about what it's like to get the chance to participate and help the festival be as successful as possible. So, welcome, Melissa. I'm so glad you're here with me again. I love having you on the show.
Oh, thank you so much for having me back.
Well, I think we have a lot to talk about today, and kind of in a celebration way, really. Last year's Fine Arts Festival was incredibly successful. So talk a little bit about what it's for, and then maybe how many kids will be affected. I guess we get to showcase this year.
Right. Well, this year we are kicking off the festival with a new theme called a Spotlight on Arts Education, and really what we're talking about is what it means to have arts education in public schools, and the importance of that, both the time and the effort and the hard work that our students put in, that our teachers put in, but as well as the value and reward that brings to our schools and to our students. And so we are, this year's festival, we're hoping we're condensing it down into one day, a big day at the end of March at the factory, and we're going to have students from elementary school all the way through high school, small groups, big groups, schools combining together to do performances. We've got students who will be singing, we've got students who will be doing theatrical performances or musicals. We have a number of jazz bands performing this year.
Wow, this sounds great.
So it's really exciting.
Well, I guess what I like about your initial description is it really goes to a level deeper than just, hey, look at all the cool stuff that we do. What you really try to, I know in your job you do, is link what you do in the curriculum of the fine arts with that of the core things, the things we think about with literacy and math and government and social studies and all the other things that we do, science. And so I guess what you're saying in terms of this festival is there's just a little added component in terms of understanding how that helps a child in their entire career at school versus just, oh, that kid sings really cool, that's really great, right?
Well, and as we, as research shows, we know that being in an arts course does help with attendance and with behavior and with academic performance, but above and beyond that, the arts really touches the aesthetic part of a student and the aesthetic part of a child, and it really is it's more of a community effort than studying an academic subject. And so having that and being able to bring the community into and participate in as audience members and as parents into something that is so vital to a child's development really helps us to understand that beyond just a student's test scores, that we are developing the whole child.
Well said. So what we're also doing maybe is we may be growing virtuosos, right? But we're also growing people who may buy tickets later on when they get older to go to a symphony because they were involved in the band or they were involved in choir, or they may go see a Degas exhibit because they learned a little bit about that when they were little. Well, listen, I think folks might like to see a little bit of what the festival looked like last year in its first year, which was so exciting, and it also took place at the factory, so that will look the same. And then we're going to see the myriad of talent and the myriad of arts that are going to be celebrated at the end of March. So stick with me though, because after this we'll come back and have one of our special community leaders join us. I'm going to keep it secret till I get to introduce her. But right now we are going to show you folks a little bit of magic from last year's first inaugural, never been done before, Fine Arts Festival of Williamson County Schools children. We'll be right back.
last night we kicked off the Fine Arts Festival for the first time ever. The Bailey and the boys was there. It was an incredible event. And then today, full speed ahead all day long, right here at the factory. We're very thankful to the factory for giving us this space. I am amazed at the talent that we have in Williamson County Schools. The turnout's been great, everybody's excited, and I'm going to be exhausted by the end of the day, but what an incredible day, highlighting the fine arts programs in Williamson County Schools.
Well, we're a little over halfway through the day, and we have had a packed house all day, all over the factory. And I couldn't have asked for happier families, happier parents. The kids are performing beautifully. It is so much fun. I'm having a great time, and I think parents and kids are having a great time.
Well, it was pretty cool. Xander, my friend, took me to Liberty Hall, and I got a balloon.
Step by step.
I'm here today to watch the performances of the students in the county. We have lots of very, very talented students, and they have made some beautiful artwork that's hanging in the halls. They're doing chorus performances, plays, and just here to watch and enjoy how talented our students are.
We sang a couple of songs that we have rehearsed for our spring show at the Fine Arts Music Festival. Don't let it get you down. Don't let it get you down. We know we belong to the land, and the land we belong to is grand. And when we say,
Well, this was our first year at this event, and we're going to learn from it. But it was an awesome, awesome experience.
And welcome back to Money Matters. My name is Deb Enright, and we're talking today about the Fine Arts Festival that will go on for all of Williamson County schools in March. We've decided to do something a little different, and under the directorship of Melissa Dufrechou, our Fine Arts curriculum specialist, we're going to allow the community to get involved to help pay for some of this great stuff that we're going to be showing in March. And I'm delighted, quite frankly. I think it's a great way for our community to get on board and support her incredible work, as well as support our kids. So we're going to talk about that. There's some sponsorship programs that are available for the festival. So Melissa, thanks for staying with us. And I want to introduce a very special lady who helps us a lot, actually, in all the schools. But Aimee Punesson is here from Franklin Synergy Bank.
Yes.
Vice President of Marketing.
I'm Chief Marketing Officer for the bank, yes.
So first of all, let's explain that to me so people can kind of, here's what I want this segment to do. I want us to empower those out there who are going, well, I didn't know I could do that.
Yes.
No one's asked me.
Yes.
How do I get involved? So tell me, first of all, explain what you do,
Okay.
and then let's walk through when Melissa said, would you like to? You're like, of course we would.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. I'm Chief Marketing Officer for the bank for Franklin Synergy, and that means I run the marketing department, the public relations department, and what I do is make sure that the public feels good in dealing with our bank. I market products, I market services, and I figure out ways to fill needs in people's financial lives. That is basically what a marketing person does in a bank. When we were approached for this, we were thrilled to be asked to be part of this because it is so, so important, and we said yes immediately and really jumped at the chance. We're asked to do a lot of things in the community as a bank. Most banks are asked to do many things. And this is one that was just very near and dear to my heart and very near and dear to our hearts at Franklin Synergy. So we were so happy to be asked to do it, and others can step forward and ask to be part of it. You don't have to wait to be asked. We did because we didn't know about the Fine Arts Festival, but now that we do, we'll certainly be a part of it from here on out.
That's really wonderful. So when you think about, because I'm sure you all get asked by a ton of folks, particularly banks, money, makes sense.
Yes.
So when you strategize as to how you're going to get involved, tell me why it was Williamson County Schools. Tell me why it was fine arts. Just walk me through that.
Well, we look at giving in our community in a very defined way, and what we want to do is we want to support initiatives and projects that are important to our employees, are important to families in our community, are important to our customers. We're often asked by customers to support different initiatives. And of course, the schools are part of the quality of life in Williamson County. It's part of the reason we all live here. And without good schools, our bank wouldn't be successful. There's no way we could be successful without a good school system. And so we're just incredibly grateful to be able to do this. We're a 7-year-old bank. And we're in a position to help with this, and we're just very, very grateful to be asked.
That's great. I like that. I understand now. So it's a matter of letting people know that the bank appreciates and wants to support the schools, and this is the particular entity that you're supporting, support the schools. But I guess it also can give a heads up to your customers, to your families, and probably to your neighbors that, this is going to be this will be a great event.
Yes.
And we like it so much we're going to support it. So Melissa, talk to us about the reason for these sponsorships and what we're trying to accomplish.
Well, any great program, of course, is not free to put on. And so we are reaching out to the community to be a part of this and to get involved and be a part of the wonderful things that we do in Williamson County Fine Arts. So we do have a number of different opportunities for sponsorships. We are looking for a title sponsor, as well as a sponsor for the Liberty Hall stages, excuse me.
Yes.
And then we have the common area stages for which Synergy is going to be the sponsor.
Yeah, so that's cool. So all day long, folks are going to understand that Synergy is like, we are totally in on this thing and think it's fantastic.
Yes.
So it's a matter of traffic and people seeing the bank, but it's also you folks feeling really good about the fact that, I don't know, from a 5-year-old to an 18-year-old,
Yes.
you guys are supporting them and you have their backs, particularly with the fine arts. I love that.
I feel good when I see a business supporting something that I care about that's important to me as a parent, and this fit that mold just perfectly.
All right, so what was it like when you walk me through that, because I think that's awesome. Because do you do this all the time as a curriculum specialist, or is this a new skill set we're getting?
Well, this is this is not in the job description for curriculum specialist. So it was a new venture for me, reaching out and asking, and I will tell you from the person asking, this is kind of difficult to go up and say that, but it makes it, we're so grateful we couldn't do these kinds of things without corporate sponsorships, and is so vital, and your participation is good for the community, just as the schools are, because our schools are continue to receive support from business in the community and a great area around us. And so what you all do is so important to helping us continue to be the #1 school district in the state.
All right, so talk a little bit about what the sponsorships mean, because we all know that it involves a check of some sort, right? And so what is the school district going to do for Synergy in terms of letting folks know what their support has meant to us?
Well, part of what we will do is, any kind of publication we put out there, we will list our sponsors and publications. We will have signage up at the event itself, because we're going to name our stages the Synergy stage, and so I think that's what a great name for a stage, right?
Yes, that's right.
And we're also going to have a really special breakfast that morning for sponsors, just as a thank you, to be able to meet with some of the professionals that have helped to put this together. And so we hope to be able to offer enough thanks and get, you know, put the company name out there as well.
Yeah, so we're still learning, right? This is kind of a new thing for us to do. I mean, you know, we have different entities within the school district. That would be PTOs and booster clubs, and those guys are pretty keen to that. But I think on a district level, it is new for us. So figuring out exactly kind of appropriate levels and what that means and what the give backs is in terms of honoring the commitment that you all have made, we're kind of step by step, right? We're kind of learning. Well, Aimee, if you could help us understand what's helpful if we come and ask another entity kind of how to get involved, what things should we be aware of that can make the conversation very powerful?
Well, one of the things that I think is very important is getting our folks involved in activities. The money's important, and you're right, you can't put on any kind of of initiative or a program without money, but you also need people to be personally invested as volunteers, and so asking for help in that way is, to me, as important and as interesting as asking for money, because it gets our people out in the community so that they can be seen, they can be part of this initiative is really important. So offering that opportunity was very attractive to us, that we can have people there, that we can possibly fill a volunteer role at the event, and that was something that caught me and caught my eye, and I found very interesting.
Yeah, I love that piece, because instead of just saying, you know, please just hand us a check and we'll see you, thanks so much, we'll send you like a CD of the festivities, right? It's really kind of like, so does that mean, could you announce like right now that you guys are going to have a barbershop quartet or something of Synergy volunteers? Is that what you're saying? Maybe
I'm not sure that we can manage that.
A small rendition from a musical or something? That would be fabulous. Up there on
Synergy review.
There you go. See, you've already, so you do have it planned. Okay, good. Well, I can't wait. You'll have to let us know exactly when
Maybe
that's
some
going to
finger
happen.
painting or.
Oh my gosh, see? They're totally in. Aimee, thank you so much for being here and kind of helping us walk through in some uncharted territory, kind of what we're doing. I really admire your courage, and I think it's also that the story is so good. It's really easy to share and just say, do you want to play with us? So thank you for being here.
Delighted to be part of it.
Love to have you come back another time, and we certainly can get out whenever you and your group are going to perform on the Synergy stage.
We will let you know.
We will be there. Aimee, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Melissa, stick around, because I think you have some really special little nugget you'd like to share about the festival. This is Money Matters. My name is Deb Enright, and we will be right back. Stay with us. Welcome back to Money Matters. My name is Deb Enright. Aimee has moved on. She was so kind to us, and it was so helpful to learn from the sponsors' side of things what they look for to participate in terms of giving their resources to community events. And we are thrilled, just thrilled, that they signed on as our very first sponsor. But Melissa has stayed with me because there's something very cool. I gotta set this up. So Melissa says, we wanna do something kind of interesting, something that's gonna actually happen during the festival that's not the performance kind of stuff, but something that people can watch and it kind of is created throughout the day. I'm like, I'm all ears. And she says, well, let's go to Summit High School and see Beth Affolter. Okay, so we go and talk to Beth, and there is this thing that she saw. Is it Atlanta? Yes. All right, so she sees it in Atlanta, and she decides, this is the teacher at Summit, the art teacher at Summit, fabulous, fabulous teacher. She decides, I've got to bring that back to Williamson County. I've got to bring it to my kids. And she didn't want to just hold it for her kids. She has now trained all the other high school teachers, is that right? Or middle school and high?
Middle and high, yeah.
Middle and high, for this very, very cool thing that we are actually going to, do you premiere it? Whatever, that we're gonna have at the festival in March. So, okay, what's it called? And tell me about it, and I love it.
All right, so this is really exciting. You know, when you think of art, right, you think of going into a gallery and you stand and you look at art.
Yes.
and which is really lovely, and you can really get an idea of what the kids are doing and seeing these finished products. But it's static. So we are introducing an art throwdown.
Oh man.
And what this is, it's an opportunity for the kids from our high schools and our middle schools to get together and in real time create art for an audience. So it's very different for these kids who are used to kind of creating art on their own inside, and then they come out with a finished product. So here we are putting them in front of an audience like you would a band. Wow. And you might get one of our theater students to strike a pose in the middle, and
then
give them.
And what happens?
And then you give them 5 minutes and say, "Go, draw that."
Okay, now, all right, so here's a question, because you mentioned numbers, and this is one thing I don't think I was clear when we were talking with Beth. So if we're striking the pose, and your pose was fabulous, so if we're striking a pose, and you have a collection of kids, how does that work? I mean, to me, right, as the wonk in the room, I'm thinking, oh, that's like group work and working together and conversations and collaborations, but I don't know how that, am I right about that we're going to be teaching those skills as well?
We're going to have a couple of different ways that we can do this.
Okay.
Students can work independently, but we also want to have a relay style
Oh my gosh.
piece.
Okay.
So either it might be a piece of art, it might be creating a sculpture with a mystery box of items in there, and every person in the group, so let's say there's 4 kids in a group, one person will get 5 minutes to start creating their sculpture.
Now,
And
do
then-
these kids, do they strategize before? No, right?
They-
It's just
well,
right then.
Right, they'll get their theme and their rules at that point, and so they'll have to just kind of talk it out through that part, and then one kid will get 5 minutes, and the next person will go in and get 5 minutes, and then they'll have to come up with their final product. And what's so different about that than other kinds of relays, where you're running the egg down, and then you're just counting on one kid to hopefully not drop it.
Right.
You're taking 4 completely different creative minds and having to create one cohesive project, and you're having to and so, which is such a real world situation.
Yeah.
When you sit down, we do that right here in this school system where all of these people work together in the curriculum department, or our teachers who think so differently about education, about how to present materials, to come together to create a final product. And,
I love that. I love that. That's going to be fun to see. So they are perhaps going to be sectioned off by schools. I mean, is this something where we have Jeremy Qualls come and do a little game day segment? Or I'm thinking, really big here. And can we put on something like a Picasso head for summit or something? Might be up for that. We'll have to check with him. But will it be? I know we don't like to necessarily use the word competition, but I get a sense that there's an urgency to this whole thing. So it's not kind of sitting back and doing the artist's kind of thing with their thumb and getting scale and scope. It sounds like it's much more urgent, because you put a time limit, I think, in your first example.
Right,
Okay.
right. Well, it's still kind of in the development process,
Okay.
and so just like the festival last year was somewhat of an experiment. This will be our throwdown experiment, and we may change it as we go. The thought right now is that students would sign up with their schools to compete with their schools to perform with their group, but it's kind of a fluid sort of event right now.
So as you get closer, you're going to figure out kind of the different things that kids can do that have to do with art. So it sounds to me like this could maybe be a sponsorship opportunity for supplies and stuff like that, maybe?
Yeah, absolutely. Especially if we want to do a sculpture piece, and I think that would be fantastic to add that, particularly as our school district is adding more three-dimensional art classes at the high school.
Yeah.
We really want to give those kids an opportunity to be showcased, and so definitely having sponsorships available to be able to get those supplies to do something really neat.
I love that. So your hope for the festival this year is fill in the blank as long as you want to. What's your hope? What's your hope for it?
My hope is to get students from across the district, from all 41 schools, participating in one way or another, And I want to see community involvement from this. I think the idea of the festival as a spotlight on arts education is to get people thinking about what it means to have arts education in our schools. It's an opportunity for not only for our students to be able to demonstrate what they do all year for maybe a different crowd, but it's also an opportunity for people to start thinking about what it means to support arts and to keep arts in schools and to grow the programs. We've done so much to grow our programs over the last 4 years, and we want to continue in that direction. And I hope that this festival continues to keep arts education in the spotlight for Williamson County schools.
So your enrollments are up, and I know they are from the statistics that you all present at different meetings that we have around the district. And I think you're also talking about the breadth now of subject areas or classes you can give within. And I have to say, at that festival, it's just delightful to watch. And I think you may even have a story, but what I recall is when I was going into Liberty Hall, and I believe it was one of the glee clubs from one of the high schools. And then I think there was also a musical theater production. And what I loved was watching the little kids. So the kids who are in elementary school or the middle schoolers start to look at what they might have the chance to do. And that was so precious. I mean, I think some of them are like, that's going to be my high school. That might be a place for me. I might not want to go and hope to star on Broadway, but I really like to sing. I love to learn lines. I like to be in plays. I like the tech part of plays. And look what that high school is doing. And as a middle schooler, that's really fun for them to understand as well. I think it also shows parents, right, that besides all the kind of core curriculum things that we need to do to prepare our kids for whatever choice they might want to make after high school graduation, that this is another way to go back to your point about holistically teaching the children, as well as creating a citizenry. So, I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Thank you for being with me today.
Thank you.
I look forward to March. I'm sure you'll keep me busy as well, running errands from stage to stage. Okay, you've heard it. Here's a great opportunity to show 35,000 kids that you believe in them. And those that are particularly participating in the fine arts curriculum that we have here in Williamson County, it's a way for you to say, I think what you're doing is great. And for the parents, for your neighbors, perhaps for your customers, it's a way to say publicly and intentionally that this Fine Arts Festival, in its second annual, continuing to add very, very interesting pieces of the program to try to capture the energy that's in the walls of that factory in March. Yeah, we want to be a part of that. So we're going to put some information on the screen that'll let you know how to contact Melissa if you're interested. And if you have any questions at all, you can always contact me at the Williamson County Schools Central Office at deborah.enright@wcs.edu. The fine arts are about civilization surviving. I can't tell you how much fun it is to see a little tiny one sing a little song that they've learned with their wonderful teacher, or to watch fully engaged high school kids sing out one of those musical theater tunes that you and I learned a while ago. Please join us in March. My name is Deb Enright. This is Money Matters. We want to thank our sponsor, Daryl Thompson of Raymond James, for his continued support of this program. We look forward to seeing you next time. Thanks for watching.